let the maximum marks in the examination be X. Maximum marks means what were the total full marks of the examination. Okay. So now if you see in the first condition, it states that the candidate gets 36% marks in the examination. So the first candidate scores 36% of the maximum marks. Which is equal to, so he scores 36% of X, right? That means you can cancel here. You get 9x by 25. Okay. Now, even if he scores 36% of the total marks, he fails by how much marks? He fails by 24 marks. Therefore, whatever marks he gets, if I add 24, he should pass. Therefore, what should be the pass marks? Marks that he gets plus 24. So if he had got 24 more than what he got, then he would have passed. So that means 9x by 25 plus 24 must have been the pass marks. Look at the second part. Another candidate who gets 43% marks gets 18 more marks than the minimum pass marks. The second candidate scores 43% of the maximum marks. Which is equal to 43% of total marks. 43x by 100. Now what happens even after scoring 43% marks, he gets 18 more than the pass mark. That means if you reduce 18 from his marks, you will exactly get the pass marks, right? So therefore, what should be the pass marks? Whatever marks he got, and he got 18 more than the pass marks, so you reduce 18. Okay. Now, pass marks of the examination cannot be different. It will be the same for all the candidates. Therefore, this one and this one must be equal. Now, this is an equation that we are getting in X, which we can solve. Take all the x's together in order to solve this equation. 9x by 25, and you take 43x by 100 on the other side. And you have minus 18 on the right hand side, and plus 24 you take on the other side. Now you take the LCM.
So minus 18 will become plus 18.
Why should it become plus 18? Because we are keeping minus 18 here only on the right hand side. We are only transferring this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now LCM of 25 and 100 will be 100. So 100 by 25 is 4, and 4 into 9x is 36x minus, and you have 43x is equal to minus 42. So that means you get 36x minus 43x is minus 7x by 100 is equal to minus 42. Now you cross multiply. 100 into 42 is minus 4200. That means x will be equal to minus 4200 divided by minus 7. So from here, this minus sign will cancel, and 7 will cancel 6 times with 42, give you 600. So what was the maximum marks of the examination? It was 600. Okay, so that answers the first part of the question. That is, find the maximum marks. And next is percentage of pass marks. First of all, determine the pass marks. What is the pass mark? Now, if you have got x is equal to 600 here, right? So what was the pass marks? You either put it in this, the value of x in this, you will get the pass mark, or you can put it in this also, any one. So therefore, pass marks is equal to put it in the first one, 9x by 25 plus 24. X is 600 we have found above, plus 24. So now you can cancel here 24 times, and you get 24 into 9 as 216 plus 24, which is 240. So 240 was the pass mark. Now I have not, I think I have missed out here, but the question here was find the percentage of pass marks. If 240 is the pass marks, total marks is 600. So what is the percentage of pass marks? What is your percentage required to get to pass? Can you tell me what is your percentage?
40%.
40%. So let's
40%.
so 240 by 600 into 100, because 240 is the marks required to pass, 600 is the total marks. So what is the percentage of pass marks required to pass? 240 by 600 into 100. You can cancel this here. So 40% is the pass mark. Here also 40% is the pass mark. Okay. So that finishes this problem. Let's now come to the assignment problems. Look at the first problem. Out of 8,000 candidates, 60% were boys. If 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls passed the examination, find the number of candidates who failed. Okay, now in total there are 8,000 candidates. 60% are boys. So percentage of boys is given to be 60%. What is the percentage of girls? 100 minus 60, which is 40. So number of boys, 60% of total number of candidates.
So 4,800.
So this 4,800. Number of girls,
3,200.
it's 3,200. So out of 8,000 candidates, 4,800 are boys, 3,200 are girls. We have found that out. Now, if you see the next part, it says if 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls passed. So number of boys that passed, %80 of the boys passed. That means 80% of the total number of boys. How many boys we have found out? 4,800. So 80% of the boys, they passed. So how many boys passed? So this is 3,840. This number of boys, they passed. Okay. And number of girls that passed, 90%. 90% of the total number of girls. How many girls were there? 3,200. So that's 320 into 9.
2,880.
Okay, 2,880 girls passed. Okay, so number of candidates that passed. Number of candidates that passed is equal to number of boys that passed plus number of girls that passed. $6,720. This much candidates passed. So how many failed? Total number of candidates 8,000 minus 6,720, which will give you 1,280. Okay, clear with this? We can move on to the next problem then. Pratibha reduced her weight by 15%. If she now weighs, that means the present weight is 59.5 kg. What was her earlier weight? So I say let her earlier weight be X. So she weighed X kgs earlier, right? Now she reduced her weight by 15%. So therefore, what is the new weight? If you remember how to reduce and increase a percentage, it is 1 minus
1 minus
15 by
15 by
100
100
into X.
x.
So this is a new weight, right? So this is, we cancel here. It becomes 1 minus 3 by 20 into X. Now if you take the LCM, you get 17X by 20. This is a new weight. According to the problem, this new weight that you have got, how much is it equal to? See, if she now weighs, her present weight is 59.5. So this must be equal to 59.5. So now you can solve this equation and get your answer. I'm not doing anything any further. Okay. Next question. Increase a price of rupees 200 by 10% and then decrease the new price by 10%. Is the final price same as the original one? Okay. So original price is how much? Rupees 200. Okay. So after increase of 10%, the new price is you have to increase by 200 by 10%. So 1 plus 10 by
10 by 100
into 200. Cancel. So you get 1 plus 1 by
20.
10 into 200. Now you take the LCM. 100 plus 1 into 200 is equal to 101 by 100 into 200. Now you can cancel here with 2. So you get rupees 202. This is the new price after increase by 10%. Okay. Okay, so I think I have made a mistake here. This should be single zero. should be 10. Okay, so this is 100 and this is 10 plus 1, not 100. So this actually becomes 11 by 10 into 200. Okay, so this becomes rupees 220. Okay, this is a new price after increase by 10%. Now what happens that this price 220 we are decreasing by 10%. Okay, so after decreasing rupees 220 by 10%, the new price what is the new price here? 1 minus 10 by 100 into 220. Okay, so now you can cancel here, so you get 1 minus 1 by 10 into 220, which is 10 minus 1 by 10 into 220, 9 by 10 into 220. This cancels here.
So
So
198.
you get 198 rupees. So after 200 here was increased by 10%, you got 220. And 220 now decreased by 10%, you get 198. So is original price was this and the final price is this. Are they equal? They are not equal, right? So your answer is no, the final price is not equal to the original one. Okay, so that's your answer. Look at the next one. Number 4. The price of sugar increased by 20%. By what percent should Maya reduce the consumption of sugar so that the expenditure of sugar may remain the same? Now she is uh, consuming some sugar. Okay, now the price of sugar if increases by 20%. If I say let the original price of sugar be 100,
Sir, can't we take do it by taking it x?
X will be a little difficult. Difficult in the sense the calculation will be more. I'll show you with X also. Let the original price of sugar be 100. Now the price of sugar increases by 20%. So what is the new price? 1 plus 20 by 100 into 100. This comes out to be 120. So the new price is 120. So from 100, the price is increasing to 120. But the problem is that Maya cannot spend 120, right? Because she does not have, she can only spend rupees 100 because that was the original price of sugar, right? She cannot spend 120. Therefore, what does she have to do? She has to decrease her expenditure from 120 to 100, right? So what should be the percentage decrease? So if a quantity goes from 120 to 100, you have to, that means you have to calculate the percentage decrease, isn't it? Because she cannot afford to spend 120 rupees. She can only afford to spend 100 rupees. So she has to decrease her expenditure, consumption. Okay, she has to decrease the amount of sugar she is eating, right? So she has to decrease from 120 to 100. So therefore, here from 120 to 100, if she has to decrease, what is the original price then? $120. And what is the final price? Equal to 100. So what is the change in price? How do you calculate the percentage decrease? Change in price is 120 minus 100, which is 20. So what is the percentage decrease in expenditure? So what is the percentage decrease in consumption? 20 change divided by original, right? Original is 120 into 100. So this comes out to be 16 2/3%. Clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now see, someone said that why can't we take x? Yes, you can take x, but see how your calculation will increase. Now instead of 100, let us take x here. Okay. So this becomes 1 plus 20 by 100 times x. So this becomes 120 by 100 x. This cancels here. So you get, this also cancels. You get 6x by 5, right? So now you see that the price has increased. So now what should be the original price here? 6x by 5, right? And what should be the final price? X. So what is the change here? Right? Understood? So what is the percentage decrease now? Change divided by original price. Okay. Again, you will get here 16 2/3%. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which one is easier, 100 or X?
The 100.
Yes. So that's what. Okay. So now we are going to discuss profit and loss. So just give me a minute. A dealer purchases an article for rupees 400 and sells it for rupees 468. Find his gain. So he's selling it for 468 and he is buying it for 400 rupees. So obviously his gain is 468 minus 400, right? So the formula for gain or profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Okay, remember this. Okay, now loss. Now what is loss? Suppose you are buying a certain item as a shopkeeper and then selling it, but you are selling it at a price that is lower than the price that you are buying. This can happen. Suppose you are buying it for 100 rupees and you don't want it, but you know, because of market forces, because certain other things, what happens that the price drops by the time you sell it, because there is a time gap between buying and selling, right? Suppose you are buying it today and tomorrow you are selling it, so there's 24 hours gap between buying and selling. So in that meantime, the prices of certain articles may drop, right? So you cannot sell it for 100 rupees. Say you are selling it for 95 rupees. Then what happens? You are making a loss of how much? 5 rupees. In this case, in case of loss, if you see, cost price will be higher than the selling price. Okay, so that is why loss denoted by L is equal to cost price minus selling price, because cost price is higher in this case. Okay, the price at which you are buying the article or goods is higher in this case. A simple example here again, a dealer purchases an article for 13,600, sells it for 12,104. Find his profit or loss. Now see here, the cost price is, he's buying it for 13,600. He's selling it for 12,104. That means now you see that the cost price is higher than the selling price, right? That means he's making a loss. $13,600 minus 12,104, which comes out to be 1,496. Okay. So that is what profit. Now we come to the main definition, which is called the profit percentage. Now you have to remember this very clearly. Profit percentage is calculated on the cost price. Profit, not only profit, but loss percentage also they are all calculated on the cost price. Remember this sentence. Profit percentage or loss percentage is calculated on the cost price always. And the formula for profit percentage is percentage profit is equal to profit by cost price into 100. This is the formula for calculating profit percentage. If you look at this question here, by selling an article for 1636.25, a dealer gains 96.25. Find his gain percentage. Okay. So here you first calculate the gain. You check whether cost price is whether the selling price is greater than the cost price. Selling price is 1636. Cost price is 96.25. Obviously, selling price is greater than the cost price. Therefore, he is gaining, right? So therefore, this is 1636.25 minus 96.25. This is gain. So he is gaining rupees 1540. Right? So gain percentage or profit percentage is equal to profit by cost price into 100. Now you have to identify the cost price again. Which one is the cost price? 96.25 is the cost price. I think I have made some mistake here. You just check. I think this part is wrong. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. This part is not wrong. I read the question wrong. Let's read the question once again. By selling an article for rupees 1636.25. This is the selling price. The dealer gains rupees 96.25. So the profit is given to you. 96.25. You need to find his gain percentage. Okay, now remember that profit percentage is calculated on the cost price, right? Profit percentage is calculated on the cost price. So we know the selling price, we know the profit. So can we calculate the cost price? Yes. So we have profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Put the values. What is the profit here? 96.25. Selling price is 1636.25 minus cost price. And that means cost price will be equal to 1636.25 minus 96.25. So we have found the cost price. Cost price here is 1540. Now we can calculate the profit percentage. Profit percentage is profit by cost price into 100. Profit here is 96.25. Cost price here is, we have found out here, 1540 into 100. Okay, so how do you calculate this? You can convert the decimal. 96.25 you can write as 9625 divided by 1540, and because you have shifted two decimals, you add two zeros in the denominator into 100. So now you can cancel two zeros here. Okay, and now you can cancel with 5. Here you can cancel 5 to get 1825. Okay, and 308 you can cancel with 11. Yes, 11, 28, and here you get 11. It will not cancel with 11, sorry. This will cancel with 308. You can try.
But that side you have written 44. This side you have written 28. if we are dividing 300 it.
No, 1540 we are cancelling with 5. That is why we are getting 308. 9625 we are cancelling again with 5 to get 1825. Okay, now 308 should cancel. Let's try with the minimum one. 1, 5, 4. It cancel with 2, but then 1825 will not cancel. 3, will it cancel? No. It should cancel with
Sir, 7.
I think it should cancel with 7. Yes, 7 it should cancel. No, 1825 will not cancel with 7. So,
Sir,
I-
9.
9-3.
Sir, by which can 9625?
Yes,
By which number you cancel 9625?
by 5. So it will cancel here, I think, with
Sir, you have divided 9625 wrong.
Yes.
1, 8. 1 should be 9, no?
It's a 9, sir. 195.
Yes, 1925. And then I think it will cancel.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
now with 7.
It will cancel with 8, I think, no? No, it will not
Sir,
cancel
7
with
it
8.
will cancel, sir.
With 7.
Yes, sir.
Denominator 308 will not cancel with 7.
Yes, sir, it will cancel 7 for the 28 means 280 and 28 cancels with 7.
Yes, this will cancel then, yes. 7, 4, and this is also 4. And this will 7, 2,
So 275.
7, and
Yes,
then
sir.
5. Okay. And then this will further cancel with 11.
With 11. sir.
Okay, so you're getting 25 by 4. Taking 6.14%. Okay,
Of
this is the
6.1.
percentage profit. Okay, so what you need to remember here is that in order to calculate profit percentage, you will not only require profit, but you will require cost price. So if selling price is given, always calculate the cost price whenever you are calculating the profit or the loss percentage, which we'll see later. So I'll stop here for today.